guys are, well, right, you should be used to this guy once they know you wear your long underwear, your gloves, your teeth. And I'm going to be working out in the yard this morning. I had my long underwear on. Not this year. It looks like it's sick. Water, good cultivate, that's actually good plant garden, very frustrating year. Yeah. But I found a place where a guy was selling crops. A little windy, a little breezy though. And it was okay. I planted some. I went in the wet mud on my roof. Oh wow. Last time I was there was 2013. What's it supposed to do? It wasn't 2 days ago. You know what? People are fabulous. 19 days. People fishing there all the time. So he was looking for their similar pretty circus. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Take the Docklands Light Railway or something. Where
Testing. Okay, pole bearers. We need the pole bearers to come to the first. Ready.
Bonjour mon ami, comment ça va? Très bien. Oh yeah.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לא אכסר, בנאות אשר ירביצני, על מי מנוחות ינעלני. נפשי ישובב ינחני במגלי צדק למען שמו, גם כי אלק ויצל מוות, לא ידע רע כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי, דשענת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. Words of the Psalm 23. A Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. Giving me repose in green meadows, leading me beside the still waters to revive my spirit, guiding me on the right path, for that is God's essence. Though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rabbi Anibal Mas from Congregation Shaarey Zedek, and it's my great honor to be here, this holy place, officiating the funeral service for David Wiwierski, Zichrono Livracha, of blessed memory. David was known to the Jewish people by his Hebrew name, David ben Moshe v'Chaya Pesia, Zichrono Livracha. He was the son of Morris and Clara Wiwierski of blessed memory, the brother of Gary, the father of Jared, and Shaina and Joshua, the husband of Susan. David passed away on October 7th after a short illness. He was 72. We read in Pirkei Avot, which is part of the Mishnah. The Mishnah is, by the way, compilation of the oral law for the Jewish people, a book written by the rabbis around 2,000 years ago. And we read Pirkei Avot chapter 4, verse 17. Rabbi Shimon says, there are three crowns: the crown of Todah, the crown of priesthood, and the crown of kingship. But the crown of a good name surpasses all of them. David was born in Haifa, Israel, December 24th, 1949. David's parents, Morris and Clara, were Holocaust survivors who immigrated to Israel in 1948. David remembered his parents telling him many stories of their lives in Israel. Like the day, while David was still a baby, Menachem Begin came to their place disguised as an old woman, hiding from the British. Great stories about how they also served in the army. But eventually the Wiwierskis immigrated to Canada. Why is that? Well, the story goes that Clara, David's mom, couldn't tolerate the heat in Israel. So they got in touch with relatives here in Canada. And finally, they moved to Canada in September 1951, when David was almost 2 years old. I guess Israeli heat was not okay, but Canadian winters were fine for them. But this is because, and we have to understand, how important family is, and how having family close to us can increase our quality of life. And that's why the Wiwierski decided to move to Winnipeg to be close to family. Once in Winnipeg, David attended Laxton Elementary School, and then he continued his education at Gordon Bell High School. Once he graduated from high school, David studied at the University of Manitoba, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Science, and he became a certified management accountant. David worked for Revenue Canada for 32 years, retiring in 2013. He was very respected by his co-workers, and he was commonly described as thoughtful, always willing to share his knowledge, and very supportive. David was also loved by his family, where he was everyone's favorite uncle. He was a big fan of the Blue Bombers and the Minnesota Vikings. He was also a fan of Formula One auto racing, to the point that he would wake up early in the morning on Saturdays and Sundays to watch Formula One. He liked gardening and always took good care of the backyard. David was a great cook. He inherited the love for good cuisine from his mother, and his specialties included roast, turkey, and of course, the pizza. He enjoyed camping or staying at the cabin, and of course fishing, especially at Lake of the Woods. His outdoor activities also included biking. And this is important because he was very proud about biking to work. And also, he used to brag about keeping track of the distance he biked. Susan believed that he put something like 60,000 kilometers on his bike, which is amazing. He also liked golfing, and of course, he loved dogs. Susan recalls that when she met David, he had a Siberian Husky named Blazer, who passed away in 1995 at age 14. And 11 and a half years ago, Susan and David adopted another dog from Darcy's Ark. And they named it Chase. He's a miniature Eskimo who adored David. Now, David met Susan at an arranged date. Susan was living in Toronto at the time and was planning to visit Winnipeg for her birthday and to celebrate Passover with family. David had a cousin, and Susan had a girlfriend related to the same cousin. So Susan's girlfriend thought it would be a good idea to arrange a date for the two of them to meet. And that was 2 days before Susan's birthday. According to them, it was love at first sight. Now, Susan was staying in Winnipeg for just a week, but they found a way to spend every day of that week together. And after that week, Susan had to go back to Toronto. But when she came to Toronto, she found a lovely bouquet of red roses from David, where he was declaring his love for her. And that's how he also arranged for his first visit to Toronto. So there was a short back and forth of visits between Toronto and Winnipeg until in June 19 of 1983, David proposed to Susan during a wedding in Montreal. Knowing that things were serious, Susan decided to move back to Winnipeg to be together with David in 1983, in November 1983. They got married on May 13th, 1984. Everything was so fast. Within a year and a bit, they met, they got engaged, they got married. Well, you see what happened is, David was 34, Susan was 30, and they were mature enough to recognize true love, to commit to that love right away, creating together a beautiful family. And as the Jewish world celebrate this week Chag HaSukkot, the festival of the tabernacles, a time of thanksgiving for every blessing we received during the previous year, this is also a moment of thanksgiving for every blessing received from David Wiwierski of blessed memory, for everything he gave during his life. But as the Rabah reminds us, specifically and more importantly, because he leaves behind the most special gift of all, the gift of a good name and a good reputation. May his memory be a source of blessing and comfort to all. Let us all say Amen. I'm going to continue now with the memorial prayer, the El Maleh Rachamim. El Maleh Rachamim Shochem Bameroimim Hametzei Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei HaShechina V'ma'alot Kedoshim Kedoshim Uteorim Kezoyar Rakim Amazirim Eden Ishema Eden Ishema David Ben Moshe Vechaya Pesia She'alach le'olamo Ba'avur Shalom mitpalelim V'ad atzkarat nishemato V'gan eitein V'gan edentei menuchato Lachem Maleh Rachamim Ahastirei uveseder kenafav leolamim Utzeror bitzror achayim Achayim et nishemato Adonai unachalato וינוח בשלום על משכבו ונאמר אמן. Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure to the soul of David Wiwierski, who has gone to his eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May his soul be bound up in the bond of life. May he rest in peace. Let us all say, Amen. And please join me now in the recitation of the words of comfort, the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Gadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabah. V'yalmad divrei chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei dechol Beit Israel v'galau v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehe shemei Rabah mevorach le'elam u'le'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירה מיעלמה וימרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה חיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. המקום ינחם אתכם בתוך שרלי ציון בירושלים. May God bless you and comfort you. Let us all say Amen. In a few minutes, we're going to continue with the burial part of this service. For that part, everybody is invited to come and participate. We have a few shovels here. In a few minutes, I will invite the family first, but after that, there is an open invitation for all of you, if you want, if you wish, to participate of the burial by putting a little bit of earth on top of David's coffin. Before that, on behalf of the family, I would like to extend a big thank you to all the staff at the GH4 Health Sciences Center for all the wonderful care they provided to David. And in lieu of flowers, the family requests if you want to make a donation on David's memory, to do so to Darcy's Ark Animal Rescue Center. That was a charity very close to them. Immediately after burial, everybody is invited to participate on the meal of consolation, something very traditional. In this case, it's going to be held at around 2 p.m. at Altos Canad Inns, and that is 2100 McPhillips in the corner with Jefferson. Okay? Everybody is invited to come and participate of the meal of consolation, and the Shiva will be private. So now I would like to invite immediate family first to come forward, grab a shovel, and to put some earth on top of the coffin. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. And thank you all of you on the internet for tuning in.
Thank you, Dave.
Everybody's invited to come. You can line up, take the shovel. Thank you again everyone for participating.